2019 was a bit of a wash to say the least. My plans for this year were to change that and actually make a decent amount of videos. Did I achieve it? No, but it wasn't a total failure. 2020 has been weird. The world is burning, but life moves on. And so does the channel, still growing its views and subscribers despite many of the videos not being exceptionally successful. But as far as I'm concerned, this year is already a success. Halfway through the year and I already reached 500 subscribers. That was my goal for the end of the year and it feels nice to achieve it with time to spare. Thank you for helping me reach it. And what do you know, even YouTube can give a word of encouragement every once in a while. I'm still skeptical of the new Creator Studio because parts of it are so slow, but at least now it has the function to import end screens from another video. Baby steps, right? YouTube has also been rolling out the video chapters feature. I'm not sure if everyone has access to it now, but I went back and added some to my videos because this is a small but nice addition. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the comments system. I have it set to send notifications to my desktop and phone, yet once in a while YouTube just gives up and never sends anything. There's also no way to sort them by activity, so if someone replies to an older comment, chances are I'll miss it. 2020 has also been a year of experimentation. I've made videos of the usual kind, but also a handful of different, less laser-focused ones. The MVP is Gold 97. This absolute unit scored more views in a month than the big videos from last November in all this time, along with beating every other video from this year combined. No, I'm not salty. Just a little bit. But hey, clearly there's an audience for it, in case the end of the year starts approaching and I stop feeling so confident about hitting another milestone. I only wish I knew what exactly I did right with the video. Was it the title? The thumbnail? The tags? Just the timing? YouTube's algorithm remains a mystery for the ages. Although having an outlier like this can be a bit scary in a way. That's a lot of traffic from people who got introduced to my channel by a specific video, the kind of which I don't do on a regular basis. MerryBytes is a variety channel. If that changed, MerryBytes would stop being MerryBytes. Yeah, I've talked about this multiple times before. Experimenting with different types of content is fun and all, but like any popcorn bowl, I'm afraid of failure, both in real life and on the internet. Maybe that's why I still haven't done some videos I've been talking about for months now. But obviously, I'm happy that it was a big success. As far as everything else goes, I've been branching out a bit just like I wanted, and I covered a bunch of games that I really enjoyed, which I think showed on the videos themselves. It's so much easier to work on something that you're strongly invested in. Making a 36-minute video in 3 weeks is going to be hard for me to surpass. 2020 also reminded me of the problems that come with covering games that were just released. January was slow. I enjoyed all the hours I put into Cross Race, but I wasn't expecting it to be that long. Recording all those hours wouldn't be feasible, but having so many variables, I had to go back and record a lot of small and specific, but important details to complement my voiceover. It also marked the first time that the channel got hit with YouTube's Content ID system. After waiting a whole day for the video to finish processing, a part of the game's opening movie was claimed by Bamco, so in order to avoid any problems, I stupidly removed only that bit and re-uploaded it again, only for a second different section to be claimed as well. After waiting another entire day for it to process, of course. With unexplored territory, you never know what you're getting. Working on the Doom Eternal video was, surprisingly, a breeze. But I don't think anyone expected the game to get a patch that caused problems for some people 2 months after release without any warning. They quickly took it back, but my point is, there was no way I could know how the game's post-launch support would be. And if I'm being honest, I can't say I'm satisfied with the focus on battle mode. It's been 3 months and there's still no more master levels, even though Exodia has apparently been in the game's files for weeks. It's like they're holding it back until everyone is on their knees gagging for more. Oh, and it turns out that you can buy the pre-order bonuses separately, even though the main page doesn't link to it. Weird. But nothing could have prepared me for June, a month in which everything seemed to go wrong. I jumped into the second cross-race video with unusual levels of enthusiasm. I wrote half the script as soon as the expansion pack's details were revealed, excited for the new stages, the return of the awesome original units, and telling myself that a week would be more than enough to finish a video on it. But by the time I finished, I was mentally beaten down. Inferno difficulty was like getting slapped by 1,000 dicks, and in the meantime, a whole bunch of real-life crap just piled up all at once, leaving me exhausted and just wanting to switch off instead of grinding the first stage of Double OF another 20 times. No matter how you try to hide it, your mental state is reflected in your creative works. People can tell when you're having fun, but they can also tell when you're not having fun. A simple sentence that's intended to be a snarky piece of criticism can cough as a serious, scathing beatdown, and that's probably noticeable in some videos, while in others you can tell that I was in an enlightened state of existence. You can probably tell that my voice sounds different too. My parents decided to turn the house upside down, and with it my makeshift recording setup had to go as well. And if it was makeshift before, now it's pretty much completely ridiculous. Thankfully, the rest of the year has been smoother. I worked on smaller projects while attempting to keep an actual schedule, something that I haven't managed since the first months of the channel. Back then, my unsustainable plan of a video every Friday went down the toilet as the scheduled videos that served as a safety net evaporated in an instant, forcing me to make a complete video every week. It simply didn't work, especially when I picked subjects that required more than 2 or 3 script pages. Recently, I have been trying a different schedule. You might have noticed that for a few short periods, there were videos approximately every 10 days. Obviously I failed at keeping it up, but it did show me that it was feasible, provided I picked the right subject to cover between the bigger videos. Another adjustment to my daily life I've been trying recently is strict YouTubing hours. Or at least the hour it ends, because of course that's the one I prioritized. At 7 PM, I clear my head of any worries and do whatever the hell I want, no strings attached. It seems that separating work and play really does make a difference, and I can see why other YouTubers sing its praises. So here's a little story. A friend of mine has recently played through Chrono Trigger for the first time, and I took the opportunity to replay some old JRPGs as well. I have played them on and off over the years, but those playthroughs were always unfocused, if that makes sense. I wasn't 100% into it. But this time it was different. It must have been over a decade since I found myself so immersed in these games that I burned through the entire things in record time during the mornings and after 7 PM. And I do mean the entire things. I finally got around to trying the new jobs in Final Fantasy V Advance, and for the first time, I actually completed every single side quest in 6 and Chrono Trigger. It instantly brought back some of the innocence and wonder that I felt in those long-gone times when I first discovered emulation and stumbled upon the entirety of the SNES library. It let me forget about the utter chaos that June was proving to be, and it was like I had regained something I lost over the years as I grew older and reality crashed down on me with reckless abandon. Yeah, just wanted to share that little story with you, since I don't want, nor is it necessary to get gloomy, since these past 6 months have been a net positive for the channel. And I think that a positive mentality is something that the entire world could use right now. There's that whole pandemic thing that shot up in severity around March and April. I was born too late to explore the seas, born too early to explore the stars, but born at the right time to live something that feels like it came right out of a video game. As someone who is experienced in the art of being a loser, my life hasn't changed much recently. Mostly because I don't have any. I usually only go out for groceries and other important matters, so in a way, I guess I'm lucky that my routine remains unchanged. It just makes me regret not starting YouTube sooner even more than I already do. I've basically been at home all the time since that course last year, which will totally come in handy now with the tourism industry taking a nosedive. I'm not particularly worried about getting infected myself. Statistically speaking, even if I get infected, I have a high chance of survival. What I'm worried about is the mental and social repercussions. Isolating forever isn't a good solution for interpersonal relationships and for economic reasons. But what are we supposed to do when this all blows over? Maybe wearing masks, keeping distances and disinfecting your hands is something that we should have been doing all this time, but clearly haven't because, well, it's an annoyance that hasn't had a good reason to exist until now, isn't it? Here in the Azores, we have extremely low numbers of infections, so based on those numbers, I think we are relatively safe right now. But whenever I go outside, it's clear that people are getting complacent. A lot aren't wearing masks or keep disrespecting social distancing guidelines, and my mother hasn't been taking the situation very well. And don't forget, the numbers are only confirmed cases. It seems that many cases are asymptomatic, meaning that you can't tell you're infected. There could be a gazillion undiscovered cases out there. But hopefully some good will come out of this in the end. For once, all of mankind has a common enemy to turn their sights towards instead of each other. And I'm not exactly in the position to say this, but maybe some companies will realize that working from home can be beneficial for everyone involved. Procrastination is always a danger, but we could have so much less traffic, maintenance, stress, etc. Anyway, screw that life and death bollocks. Let's talk about the future. As far as my plans go, I don't have anything in particular besides to continue doing what I already do as efficiently as I can. I'll continue making the type of videos I already do and continue experimenting with different stuff. Hopefully the rest of the year will be consistent and successful, but also peaceful and quiet. I won't make any promises because something always goes wrong, and it's always when you least expect it. 2020 certainly has been unpredictable, for better or for worse. I guess my goals for the end of the year remain more or less the same. The analytics as a whole are positive. Subscriber and view numbers continue to grow, so I'm aiming for 750 subscribers. Maybe even 1,000 if things go well. And that's the retrospective for the first half of 2020. Once again, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for new videos coming soon.